Hi there! Are you studying for the IELTS exam? Here are a few suggestions that could improve your score on the IELTS listening exam. Presented by Bounce English. Tip 1. The most important thing, and I mean the most important thing you can do to improve your IELTS listening score is to make sure that you read each section carefully before the listening test begins. Did I mention this was the most important thing you should do? Carefully reading each section before the listening test begins is the foundation for all of the tips in this video. Why is this so important, you ask? Reading through the sections will give you valuable information about the section and help you know how to answer the questions. For example, you might be able to use an answer more than once, or you might only be able to write 2 words for an answer, which means that if you write 3 words, the answer is wrong. So remember, reading the sections carefully will give you valuable information about how to answer the questions. If you miss these details, you may lose points on your final score. Tip 2. Another important tip is to use what you read to predict what you might hear in the listening. You actually do this all the time in your first language. We are always predicting what we might hear. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine you are talking to a friend and you say, "Hey, would you like to go to dinner tomorrow night?" Your friend responds, "I have always loved rainbows and unicorns." What? Not really. Your friend responds, "Yes, I'd love to. What time?" Which response were you expecting? The first one or the second one? Of course, the second one. Why? Because if you ask a friend if they want to go to dinner with you, you listen for an answer like yes, maybe, or a suggestion for another day. In other words, you are listening for information related to the topic. Here's another example. Imagine you are at the airport waiting for a flight to Paris on France Airlines. Over the airport loudspeaker, you hear, "Attention, the France Air Flight 2. You start paying attention. Then you hear, "Dubai," and you stop listening. You stop listening because the information you need is about the Air France flight to Paris. We predict what we need to listen for all the time, and you can use this skill on the IELTS listening exam. For example, you can predict what the topic might be by reading through the section. You can also predict what type of word the answer will be, such as a noun, a verb, or someone's name. In other words, you know what you're listening for and you're predicting what you will hear. So make sure to try to predict what you will hear on the IELTS. Tip 3. Remember, on the IELTS listening exam, the questions are all in order of what you will hear on the listening. So if you think you've missed the answer to one of the questions, just forget it and move to the next one. You will have time to guess the answer at the end of the test when you transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Tip 4. Finally, at the end of the test, you have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Make the most of those 10 minutes. One way you can use this time is to check your answers as you transfer them. You should check for 3 things. 1. Check that your answer is grammatically correct. The right answer is always grammatically correct, so if you see a grammar mistake, the answer needs to be changed. 2. You should also check for spelling. Spelling errors are a common reason why students don't do as well as they would like on the IELTS listening exam. If you have the right answer but it's spelled wrong, you will not get credit for it. So make sure to do your best to spell correctly. 3. Guess what the answer might be for any questions you've missed or left blank. Hey, you have nothing to lose by trying to answer every question. And there you have it. There aren't any magic tricks for the IELTS listening exam, but if you follow these tips, you stand a better chance of IELTS success. Thanks for watching and good luck on your upcoming exam. Sample tests used in this video were downloaded from IELTS.org and takeielts.britishcouncil.org. For more IELTS exam tips, visit us at www.bounceenglish.rocks. Bounce English, where will your next bounce take you?